Chamai, everybody. My name is Alexis Bunten. I work alongside Kara Romero in the Bioneers Indigeneity Program. My tribes are Aleut and Yupik from Bristol Bay, Alaska. I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Naelyn Pike, to you today. I know, woo, Naelyn. But before I do, I want to start with a brief story. You know you're living in a confusing, topsy-turvy time when Donald Trump makes John McCain look like some kind of every person's champion for access to basic human rights. I assure you, he is not. When I first graduated high school, I went to Senator John McCain's presidential primary speeches. I went with my signs to protest. He fought against everything I was for. Things like a woman's right to choose, putting a stop to offshore drilling, free speech, separation of church and state, same-sex marriage, funding for social services, funding for science. I could go on and on and on about everything he fought against that I was for, but you get the point. During his second presidential run, he appointed the abominable Sarah Palin as his VP candidate, whose husband's great-grandmother is from the same tribe as me. But despite that, she consistently fought against our subsistence rights to hunting and fishing in our traditional homelands. So I was not surprised when 20 years later, John McCain put forth a defense bill that included a rider that gave land to Resolution Copper for a mine to be put in Arizona. And that land was Oak Flat, a sacred site of prayer for the San Carlos Apache people. Naelyn Pike just graduated high school this year. Woo, give it up. She is now the same age that I was when I first started protesting McCain, but she's already been fighting to save Oak Flat for 3 years now. Are you guys getting what I'm saying here? I'm old enough to be Naelyn's mom. I'm older than her mom. And John McCain is still stripping our sovereign tribal rights away and destroying our sacred land for mining and drilling through his racist policy. It is intergenerational now. I first became aware of Naelyn and her tribe's fight to save Oak Flat when I saw this viral image of a beautiful young Native woman standing in her moccasins in Times Square, bow and arrow pointed down towards the earth, looking forward with a determined look on her face that portrayed strength. Naelyn's spirit that came through this photo gave me a kind of hope that I can barely explain it in words. I'm sure you're getting it right now, looking at the photo. Later, I learned that this photo was taken when Naelyn was on an epic road trip from the San Carlos Reservation in Arizona to Washington, D.C. to fight to take back Oak Flat. Last year, I had the privilege to finally meet her in person and work with her. This poised, powerful young woman has what it takes to organize people to fight, despite ongoing generational trauma, despite the current administration, probably even stronger for it. When you hear her speak, she's like a cipher that brings the wisdom of generations with her. The last thing I want to say is that in addition to being very wise, Naelyn is also incredibly down to earth and humble. When I was facilitating the Intercultural Conversations project that my good friend and program partner, Alvin, spoke about earlier on the stage, I asked Naelyn if she would be willing to call our students and speak with them and spend time with them, at least virtually, through our platform. She took my phone call. She dropped what she was doing, which was she was literally shopping for college supplies at a store. And she said, yeah, I'll be available for your students. When do you want me to call in? I'm there. Naelyn is just like that. So give it up for my hero, Naelyn Pike.
Thank you. Tagute, she Naelyn Pike onze, she San Carlos Goliu, she Chiricahua. Hello, my name is Naelyn Pike. I am enrolled in the San Carlos Apache tribe, but I'm Chiricahua Apache. I got a little choked up from previous watching these discussions and from the panel that we had yesterday in the Indigenous Forum. But right now, I'm going to tell you a brief of my story and where I come from and who I am. I'm fighting to protect our sacred land, which is Zichlin Chasian and Chichil Biltagot Il. Those lands are my homes. Those lands are who I am and where I come from, the place where I could feel free as being Inne, as being Apache, because that was taken away from me and the generations before me. That freedom to believe in anything, that freedom to be who we are, that freedom to pray, to sing the songs, to live on the land, and to be who we are. That right was taken away. And that's what I'm fighting against. That's what we're doing here today. That's what this generation is doing here today, is that we're fighting against these dirty politicians, these corporations that want to desecrate our sacred land, that want to desecrate who we are and strip our identity away. That's the generational fight, where my great-grandmother was told that she couldn't be who she was, that she was stripped away from her identity because that was savage, that wasn't right. Kill the Indian, save the man. My grandfather growing up and fighting and contemplating that idea of why would someone want to take away who I am, and my mom standing behind him. And now it's my turn to stand up too. It's my turn to take on this fight and to understand and to teach my little sisters, my little cousins, to teach my future children that who we are is powerful, is resilient, is strong, because we are a beautiful people. We have the right. We have the right to go back to these places because San Carlos is where we were placed as prisoners of war after the Apache Wars in the 1800s. That's not my home. It's a place called Hell 40 Acres because it was a place where no human beings could live. That's why I'm fighting for my homes, Oak Flat and Mount Graham, because those places, you can be born there, you can live there, take the medicinal plants, eat the food, and drink the water, and be free, and live that essence of life of who we are, that God-given gift our Creator, Yosin, has given us. And they want to destroy that. A Black Cave Mining Corporation wants to destroy that land, wants to take it and use the money and put it in their pockets, that oldest evil in this world. But I'm saying no. And many people, millions of people in this world are saying no. We have so many sacred lands that are going to be desecrated, so many fights that are going to protect Chaco Canyon, to protect bears, to protect indigenous land, food, water, the right to live, our identity, to protect Mauna Kea, to protect the Missouri River. We're fighting against so many pipelines, these evilness in this world. And the thing is that these generations behind us had told us this prophecy. But there's another prophecy that the youth is going to stand, and that's us today. That's us here and now. I can no longer stand and say that these corporations can do this, because enough is enough. And each and every one of you here today are making that stand. You're making that difference. You're saying, and you're awakening to this truth, because this truth has been hidden for so long. People put it behind us and say, no, we don't want to hear it. It's just a native issue. Go back on to the reservations. No. And that's where we stand here now, and that's why I'm telling you now that these truths need to be heard. We need to be awakened and understand that these things do need to be heard, because if it's not heard, what are we going to do? What future are we going to put for our children? What future am I going to let my children live in? I cannot let this world be gone, and I cannot be a bystander because I'm afraid, or I don't want to talk about the truth, or I don't understand. In order to create change and make change for the people is to unify, because a true unity is accepting one another's diversity. Because each and every one of you in this room is beautiful. We all have a story. I have my own story. My mom has her story. But as long as we understand each other's stories and we accept that beautiful diversity in the people, of all people, because we are human beings to this world. And the one thing we have to understand is that we all have one issue and we all can relate. And that's we need to protect this earth, Nago Sun. we do not protect her, if we do not save her, and if we let all these corporations take these resources until it's run out, then there's no future for our children. And you're hearing this from a young girl. So that's telling you something. That this is a crucial time that we need to make changes, whether it's through the laws, to the systems, because anything could happen. Either we believe in this hope, because I believe that there's hope. There's hope within this room, hope in this conference, hope outside, hope in the communities, that there's going to be a difference, there's going to be a change. And that change is here and now. And if we don't make that change, then there's no future. Everything's going to be gone. And that's what's important, is to understand that we need to protect these sacred areas, these sacred lands, and protect each other's rights to believe in anything. Because if we don't accept that, then I gotta say, then what are we doing? What are we fighting for? We must be not thinking at all. And that's why we have to wake these dirty politicians like John McCain, like Trump, and because we are the people. We are the people. We make that difference. We make that stand. We create the policies. If it wasn't for the people, then no one would be here. And so tonight and right now, here I'm telling you that I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the youth that are standing up. I'm very proud to see the essence in the children, because that's beautiful and we cannot take that away. We cannot take what is important to us and what is important to those ahead of us, because the youth is making a stand. The youth is letting our voice be heard. And if you can't listen to that, then there's no future. So what I'm telling you is that each and every one of us have our own story, but each and every one of us needs to listen to it, because these lands, these places, my land, my home, where I come from and where I'm able to be who I am, can be taken away. And if it's not my land, it's someone else's in their community. It could be in your backyard. That's where we have to understand that protecting Oak Flat and protecting all these other sacred places will set a precedent to the future of this country, to the future of our people and humanity, and the future of this earth. It is up to us to make that stand now, here, today, to stand up and take that path, because you can stand up, but it's if you walk it. Every single day of your life, if you walk that life, if you take that action, and after this conference, that's what is important, is what you're going to do next. You may go to all these vendors, and you may go and look at the panels, and you may watch me now, but it's what is in your heart, that fire lit within inside you. And that fire is rising in the youth. You could feel it. You could feel it in the ground. You can hear it in the trees. You could feel it in the air as you breathe it. Because this change is here and now. And it's up to you to make that change too. To stand with us. And to just be you. Because it is important that we unify. It is important that we help and support one another. It is important that we protect this earth and our right to be a human being and believe in anything that we want to believe in. It's up to us here and now. It's up to you. So, yeah, Sean, thank you.